Well,
let's be honest, it was a terrible night last night. It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go.
So you know Trumpets.
Yeah, so this video is from Nerdrotic. Yeah, please check out this channel as well. Yeah, I just posted this morning. I think he uploaded 2 days ago or something. So we're just gonna go quickly through that video, guys, and please comment below as well. What do you think?
It's like, y'all won. I know you're happy. Whatever the nobody acting like bitter losers. However, y'all need to leave me the alone.
We got our asses kicked. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
all day yesterday I was walking around.
You know what? I'm not surprised they probably had like all the Avengers team like in the real life, like meet up in one room and like, oh, how are we gonna deal with that? How are we gonna save the world from Trump? I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm proudly wearing my I voted sticker. Today I wore my I am questioning my fundamental belief in the goodness of humanity sticker.
On Tuesday, Americans went.
How is that funny? I don't know. I couldn't find any humor in it. They're probably clapping in a studio because they got assigned to clap, I guess.
To the polls and elected Donald Trump to be the next president of the United States.
The results were shocking and even horrifying.
It was a terrible night for everyone who voted against him, and guess what? It was a bad night for everyone who voted for him, too. You just don't realize it yet.
Well, guys, last night, America decided to get back with the crazy ex and elect Donald Trump as the 47th President of the United States.
No matter what's happening in the political climate, I will always be there for my community and will always try to help organize and uplift one another because it is scary out there.
In this democracy, the majority has spoken, and they said they don't care that much about democracy.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Nerdrotic.com.
Greetings, you over 1 million awakening wonders and the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. I hope you've had a good week because I have. But you know who hasn't, and you just hate to see it? The millionaires and billionaires of Tinseltown. Considering they alienated half the country and broke their entire business model, leading to the death of broadcast television, which led to the death of late night and their ilk in the legacy media, the death of the access media, it makes it very hard for them to pretend or go to parties, especially when their favorite host is locked up. And that's before the events of the last week, and it turns out that...
Yeah, they done a big bombshell on all this Hollywood stuff. What's happened with Diddy?
Streaming wasn't the only bubble to burst, because the Hollywood bubble burst, one that was primarily fueled by a constant supply of their own farts. And now they find themselves in an existential crisis, which has been unintentionally the most entertaining thing they've produced in years.
Tommy, you want to give us the word of the day?
I would indeed. The word of the day is
Schadenfreude. Pleasure derived by someone from another person's or entire industry's misfortune. Now, some of you out there might say that sounds a little mean, and you'd be right. I completely understand that not everyone in Hollywood likes the direction their industry is going, and it's also not fair to just single out Hollywood. I'm talking about the entire corporate legacy media complex. From the film industry to publishing to the comic book industry to the music industry to that legacy broadcast media that shovels crap down our throats in every airport and gym. And no, I sure as hell don't watch that stuff at home. So you can't blame the average American or world citizen for walking around with a song in their heart and a smile on their face, enjoying the hell out of the glorious meltdowns coming particularly from Tinseltown. But every defeat is an opportunity, and hey, let's use Hollywood's language here. This can be a teachable moment, because Hollywood, this is why you lose.
Let's talk about being queer in America post.
Yeah, he's so right. I like that guy. I literally just saw his appearance on Piers Morgan show just a couple of days ago, and yeah, it just came up on my feed. And I was like, okay, on my YouTube feed, I mean. And you guys check it out. And he's a smart guy. I like that guy.
Selection. How are you feeling?
Feeling not great, but also hopeful, knowing that I have our community. I feel more invigorated than ever to be surrounded and uplift my community. No matter what's happening in the political climate, I will always be there for my community and will always try to help organize and uplift one another because it is scary out there. And we need hope, and hope is the most important thing. And we will survive. We will get through this, even though it's very scary. Community, and community.
Adult pretenders. This is why you lose.
Come on. Go vote blue. And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button. I don't need your business.
If you don't like it, don't watch it.
Oh my god, we're fake people. It's just sad. It's sad. Sad to look at him. Really sad.
Peace.
Corporate legacy broadcast media. This is why you lose.
I worry about my children's future, especially my daughter, who now has less rights than I have.
I worked hard as
Okay, stop right there. No, you shouldn't say less rights than. Okay. This is all falling apart anyway in the first place. Because I know where she's coming from. She's coming from the abortion rights. Yeah, whatever. So first of all, Trump didn't say he's gonna ban abortions. He didn't say that. He leave that to the state. State decides. Whatever. Fine. He's not gonna do that. Number two, you should change your statement and say that my daughter won't be able to kill the baby. That's the statement. And I do understand, I'm not against the abortions or anything like that. It's fine on certain circumstances, whatever. That's why Trump said leave it to the states. But you should not say that this sounds like that's it. Your woman is gonna be I don't know, in the bottom, like in the Middle East or something. No, that's not gonna happen.
hell
Absolutely.
to elect the first Black Asian woman president.
We are the only 248-year-old multiracial, pluralistic democracy in the world. And shall we keep it? A lot of our fellow Americans say we shouldn't. Now we know. Now we know for sure.
Late night television. This is why you lost.
On Tuesday, Americans went to the polls and elected Donald Trump to be the next president of the United States.
The results were shocking and even horrifying.
Donald Trump, who tried to forcibly overturn the results of the last election, was returned to office by an overwhelming majority.
This is the same Donald Trump who openly called for vengeance against his political enemies.
You can't even read from the script properly. You can see how they're just reading from a script. Just told what to do. It's just sad. It's sad. It's really sad.
And now, thanks to the Supreme Court, there are no guardrails.
Nothing to protect the people who are brave enough to speak out against him.
Oh, shut up, woman.
And to the access media, this is why you lose. Stop blaming celebrity endorsements for Kamala Harris's loss. We need to hear from artists now more than ever. Now, I know there are thousands of examples of the access media losing, but for the sake of your time, your sanity, and mine, let's just go with the latest. And let's keep in mind this comes from Variety, the very same outlet that recently took a shot at Star Wars fans during The Acolyte, and just a month ago took a shot at all of fandom. But you gotta give it up to Chris Willem and Variety, at least they're consistent. This time, they're going after the majority of Americans. How dare you question millionaire celebrities? Did you know that Bruce Springsteen, who sucks, and Beyonce, who also sucks, lost the election for Kamala Harris, or at least bear a large part of the responsibility for her party's failure at the polls this year? It's true, you know, at least if you listen to some of the punditry coming from conservatives and even from some Democratic operatives eager to find some celebs to push into the middle for their current circular firing squad. At this point, I think it'd be prudent to point out that it was George Clooney who, according to Quentin Tarantino, is not a movie star, and I would agree was the one who penned a letter that got the big guy to step down. And now he's catching some heat and you just hate to see it. But it is clear that the celebrity still has some influence over the ruling political class, just not their bosses, the American people. But Chris Willem and Variety think different. This isn't much of an exaggeration of some of the post-election sniping out there. A-list celebrity endorsements boomerang on Harris Democrats, read the headline of a reported news story in The Hill on Saturday. Overseas, The Guardian ran a Wednesday morning quarterback piece titled, "Did Celebrity Endorsements Actually Harm Kamala Harris?" The answer is yes, but let's hear what Chris has to say. Some right-leaning publications actually declared that the whole idea of artists and entertainers speaking up had suddenly just been killed in its tracks, because it has. Kamala Harris and the death of the celebrity endorsement, read the headline in The Spectator in the UK, echoed by an equally breathless piece in the New York Post titled, "How Kamala Harris Killed the Celebrity Endorsement. Parading A-listers over policies was always a recipe for disaster. Where's the lie?" Musicians and actors in their ilk had a marvelous time ruining everything in this election cycle, to quote one of the most famous of these endorsers, more succinctly, to the tune of "Blame Canada, blame Hollywood." That's a good idea. Someone should get on it. And here comes the cope and resentment, and that resentment is largely towards you and I, the paying customers, something these outlets thoroughly loathe but still want you to subscribe to their crap websites and click on their ads. There's a good reason to believe the argument that people in the arts and entertainment terms we will use very loosely speaking up does not move the needle a tremendous amount, because it doesn't. But concurrent with that argument is the reasonable belief that they can move it at least a tiny amount in registrations and motivation, if not 180-degree turns. Dude, I say this for your own safety. Remove your nose from your sphincter. All right, let's hear the rest of his argument. Maybe he's got a point, maybe he doesn't. The idea that entertainers and artists, again a term we will use very loosely, involvement somehow leads to actual voter dissuasion is a fantasy. Bullshit that is happily perpetrated by the go woke, go broke crowd and picked up by columnists who think that picking on limousine liberals never goes out of style. It really doesn't, and no, it doesn't. It's tons of fun. It's just disappointing to see this picked up by objective journalists, by some Democrats themselves who imagine they have practical reasons to tell the entertainment world to shut up and sing, or shut up and act, or just shut up. I said it before, I'll say it again. The last few years have been very hard on Hollywood, and the last thing they needed was to come out the other end on an election year, but here we are. But I do have to agree with this article on one thing. Hollywood did hold back for quite a while, but they more than made up for it in the last couple of weeks. Now, according to the article's author, music journalist Chris Willem, the celebrity endorsement doesn't necessarily move the needle, except when it does, but it definitely doesn't dissuade any voters.
Sure, Jan.
And this argument probably works on Chris Willem and his ilk in Hollywood. Unfortunately, there's this pesky little thing called reality. Considering the amount of celebrity endorsements there were,
sorry, I forgot to switch on my sound. It's crazy, isn't it, just to see how people don't care. People don't care about celebrities. That's the thing. I think like social media changed everything. Even I think before social media, people wouldn't care that much because you guys, you're rich, you got everything, isn't it? And now another point is because they literally, most of them been blackmailed probably with all these Diddy parties and Epstein Island and all that kind of stuff. So they don't really have a choice because they risking some of them to go prison probably. Yeah, because if like all the Diddy shit and Epstein's shit gonna get unfolded, I mean, and all the lists coming out and all the videotapes coming out and lots of them guys being involved, they're like, shit, my ass is burning, I'm on fire. So I think some of the reasons are because of that. I know, guys, what do you think? Please leave the comment, yeah? Okay, let's get it. Let's go.
And considering how badly the industrial legacy corporate media complex got its ass kicked, you think it might be prudent for an industry that relies on the American people to just walk off quietly and take the L on this one, but thankfully you're not, because the access media can't die fast enough. Whether it has any effect or not, again, it did, just not the one you like. Everyone has to answer the question for themselves, if not their children. What did you do in the war, Daddy? Imagine feeling, as Bruce Springsteen, who sucks, did, that Donald Trump is the most dangerous candidate for president in my lifetime, even though he was already president for 4 years. And then stifling that because of what the New York Post or the twits on Elon Musk's platform might write. And it's statements like that that perpetuate fear and division are precisely the reasons you lost and you will continue losing in the corporate media. And all you are now is the dinosaurs mocking the meteor. And that meteor is us. That's why Elon can feel free to be a twit on his own platform and state, we are the media now. The era of the woke mind virus, identity politics, and the message is over, whether you like it or not. You had a good run, but now life is gonna go on without you, much sooner than you think.
Yeah, and yeah, like Elon Musk as well, he's all against all this woke mind virus because, like he said, was it a show with what was his name? Oh, Jordan Peterson, isn't it? Yeah. On that show, said how he lost his boy, yeah, because transitioned whatever to the trans. Whatever, I know some trans thing, yeah. So he's fighting all this woke mind virus, which it is. He. That's the definition of that thing. I think he's so right. Okay, I think the video is nearly done. Just get it finished. Say.
In the end, the universe tends to unfold as it should.
Nerdrotic.com.
If you like what you heard, please